I think we're finally going to get a Bucks versus Nuggets NBA Finals. It sounds crazy. The Nuggets are the 3 seed in the West. The Bucks are the 5th seed in the East. The Bucks have been kind of up and down, but I think now that I have some time to just not be watching basketball because the All Star break, Giannis and Jokic are clearly the two best players in the league.
Yeah,
Shea is a distant third. Tatum and Luka are distant thirds, like in terms of that tier. And I don't see nobody. The teams aren't strong enough in the West for it's like, this team gonna beat Jokic now 4 times. They're gonna beat Jokic now 4 times. Michael Porter Jr. just had 3 straight games where he was getting 30 or more. Jamal Murray just had 50 something. So them two guys rounded into form. Aaron Gordon is back. Christian Brown is better than KCP. We find we can kind of come to terms with that because KCP is looking horrible. I think this Nuggets team is primed, and I think they got the size for OKC and any other team like the Lakers. I think Nuggets could come out the West. On the East, Giannis gonna be the best player in every series, not even close. It's no one on the East close to Giannis. I'm sorry. So Cleveland probably is the best team in terms of personnel. They can defend Giannis, but I don't trust none of them dudes to actually beat Giannis on Cleveland. So, yeah, how you feel about that?
I definitely think there's some validity to that hot take, and I'm not totally against that. Uh, Especially coming from the Nuggets side. If the Nuggets have everything going right, they could definitely make it out the West. As tough as the West is, the matchups are kind of like overbearing for some of the top teams, especially specifically with Jokic and OKC. I don't think they're going to really be able to do anything with them. But I think the whole team of OKC, if they play well, they can put pressure on the Denver others to have to play well. And if they don't, then that's how they could get them 4 times. But
You
it
know
just
the one
depends on if you trust them like that.
the one thing with OKC is it just might be a year too early for them. And I've seen them not look too great offensively. They didn't beat Minnesota before the All-Star break, and that was like a telling loss. They lost to fucking Ant and a whole bunch of role players. And I thought that they fully healthy. I thought that was telling. They lost to the Bucks in the in-season tournament final. And it's just like they have too many offensive lulls. And Chet, I don't know when Chet will find his offense again because he's not playing back-to-back games. So the biggest question is Chet, where would he be offensively? If I could see an uptick with Chet, then maybe. But I don't think Oklahoma City has him. Their defense is crazy, but scoring, it's a little clunky at times. That's my biggest worry with them. And then on the
Okay.
Buck side, it sounds crazy, but I'm just bro. Giannis done missed 2 straight playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like I think people forgetting how relentless he is in the playoffs and how hard it will be to beat him 4 times. We see
Yeah.
didn't Grant Williams have to get like what did Grant Williams have to do for them to get past the Bucks? That was hard for the Celtics. And hey, this is probably one of Giannis's best teams. If they can get
Yeah.
it together.
If they can get it, if this team is gelling and has it together, well, and Giannis is healthy, it is definitely hard for him in the East because he can have his way out there in the East, beat him 4 times. So I
What's
agree
your
with you in that
problem with my
aspect.
hot take? What's your problem with my hot take?
My problem with the hot take is on the Bucks side, in my opinion, is that I just think that as a team, I don't know if I can see them getting to that place where they need to be cohesively and working together, playing all playing well at the same basically at the same time to really be that team in the East. I think Boston is still a team that you're going to have to really deal with. I think they have that experience. So when it comes to Boston, the team aspect for Boston versus Milwaukee, I'm going to trust Boston as a team cohesive unit over them versus the Bucks. So that's kind of why I'm leaning against it. I think Giannis will have his way against them for sure, but I also think they're going to put pressure on the Bucks to continue to play well, and you're going to need some other help.
Because okay, the Celtics. So you think that will be the biggest hurdle for the Bucks? Basically, what you're saying.
Yeah, I just it's hard for me
Okay,
to see them beating the Celtics, but I'm not hard for me to see. Like I can see it happening, but it's like a 30-40% chance right now.
So I'm gonna say this. I think the best five the Bucks can put on the court. Just bear with me real quick. Damian Lillard, Gary Trent, or Taurean Prince. It don't matter. I'm gonna use Gary Trent. So Damian Lillard, Gary Trent, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, and Bobby Portis. I think that'll be the eventual closing lineup for the Bucks, and then you will have some guys coming off the bench for the Bucks. You got the AJ Greens, you got the Brook Lopez's, even Connaughton and Andre Jackson. Those are solid bench pieces for an 8-man rotation. They can find an 8-man rotation for playoffs. But that 5 versus Boston's 5, you got Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis. Now, just 5 on 5. Like, where are what do you think about now that I mentioned the 5s? What pops out? How much worse is the Bucks 5 than the Celtics 5?
I still think they're fairly worse. I mean, you have 2 great defenders in your backcourt for the Celtics, and then you have the 2 great forwards in the Jays. So that's I think in that that's a problem in itself. And then of course, Porzingis can rim defend. He can post up, and he can also space the floor really well for the guys on the Celtics. Whereas, so I think, and then defensively, I just think that team is a little bit better than a Damian Lillard and a Gary Trent backcourt for sure. And Kuzma's cool, but I really think he wouldn't make too much of an impact on against the Celtics, depending on who's out there for them. And then, Giannis will have to do a lot of cleaning up on the defensive side, in my opinion. And so that's putting a lot of pressure on him defensively. And how much you're going to ask him to do on the other side of the ball. You better hope that Dame is hitting. You better hope it's Dame time.
Okay, now scale 1 to 10, how hot was my hot take? Bucks and Nuggets finals.
I'd say it's like a 7, 8, because people are going to definitely find it very hot as far as the Celtics not making the finals, and then a team not like OKC or whoever else in the West going out.
I just think it's weird that nobody is kind of talking about it, because how often do we not see the first and second best player damn near definitively not meeting the NBA finals when healthy? I just think I think we're due. I think we're due. They're both still like in their primes, and they're currently 1 and 2 with and they both have good enough teams. So I just think that's a hot take, but it's like we're due. Eventually, it's going to have to happen if they are who they say they are.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I would never quit.